Good morning out there to all my retro viewers. Jeff, aka Gcurse here, with a quick question, ladies and gentlemen. Where were you on this date? Well, if you were me, if you were like me, then could have been like possibly 6 years old and going to elementary school. Now, depending on the time of the day and you were in school, you could have been in either class or out at recess or having lunch, something like that along those lines. Or you could have even just got to school and you could have been having breakfast. Now, if you're probably doing almost everything except recess, you were probably wishing that you could have been home doing more fun things. And one of those fun things was watching cartoons, ladies and gentlemen, because I know that's what I used to do. Back in the day, when I went to school, I was actually just thinking about going home and watching cartoons and playing with my toys and all that stuff. Well, a cartoon came out on this date. It was called Ducktales. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to another installment of my ongoing Sunday morning retro series. That's right, today I am playing Ducktales. This game was originally released on the Nintendo Entertainment System in October 1989, ladies and gentlemen. So sadly, I'm going to be playing this game, but it's not on the NES because my NES broke a long time ago. I am actually going to be playing this on a compilation set. I think it's called the Disney Afternoon set, if I remember correctly. But it comes with a whole bunch of Disney cartoons or games that were based around cartoons that came out like during the Disney Afternoon era, I guess you could really call it. This is a game that I actually used to play when I would go to my cousin Peter's house. Me and my cousin, we used to live just a few blocks apart from each other, and we went to the same elementary school. And back when I was going to elementary school, it did not start until 8:45 in the morning. That's right. We actually, I'm not sure how it is now. I don't know what time the elementary school actually starts now, but when I was going to elementary school, it started at 8:45. So what I would do is I would wake up and then I would have my breakfast, and then I would head over to my cousin's house at about 7 o'clock ish, roughly. And then me and him would hang out for about an hour, and we would play video games, and then we would end up getting going to class, walking to school, and everything. But yeah, this is actually a game I never actually owned on the NES. I actually had this on my Game Boy. They released this game on the Game Boy back. Let's see here. When did they originally release it? Let's take a quick look, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Game Boy. Oh, Game Boy. 1990 is when they released DuckTales. Let's see. Wait, it was released on the Nintendo Entertainment System 1989. Oh, Game Boy. Ported to the Game Boy in 1990. This is actually. But yeah, so I had this on my Game Boy, and I'll be honest, Game Boy was cool, but you just had to have it on the Nintendo. You just had to have it on the Nintendo. Let's see. Game Boy, yep, November 1990. Wow. Over a full year, no, wait. Yeah, over a full year after the NES release date. But yeah, I had it on the NES, the Game Boy, and it was fun. It was fun, but you need to have all the colors and everything. But yeah, so 1990 is when it was released on the Game Boy. So today, like I said, I'm going to be playing this for the first time. I'm going to be playing it in its entirety because, as always, when I would visit my cousin Peter's house, I could only play it for so long, then we'd have to go to school. And then again, it was also you had to take turns. So actually, I never had the full experience of playing the game from the beginning to the very end, with the exception of my Game Boy version, of course. But as always, I just want to say welcome to everybody. If you are new to this series, this is where basically every Sunday morning that I go and I play retro video games. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, Jeff, the clock on the corner says it's June 14th, which is a Saturday. And the thing is, it's just that with all editing and processing, uploading and labeling and all that stuff that goes into making videos, I just would not have enough time to get it all done on a Sunday. So basically, what I do is I play these games on a Saturday, and then that way I can take time to edit and edit if need be. I can do all that stuff, and then I can upload it and have it ready to view on a Sunday. Thus, Sunday morning retro. But anyway, as always, I hope you enjoy your stay here. I hope that I hope that you're here because you like retro games, because I feel like retro games are making a little bit of a comeback right now, especially with how expensive newer games are becoming. Some people may find retro games to be a suitable substitute for what is new. Yeah. But anyway, before I get on with that, let's check the weather, shall we? It is currently 51 degrees. Ugh. It is actually pretty nice outside. It was pretty cloudy when I just got back from doing some stuff outside. And it's actually pretty damn nice, even though it's cloudy. Okay, so it's supposed to be mostly sunny with a high of 68 degrees today. Tonight it's supposed to be clear to partly cloudy and chilly, low 45. Wow. I don't think it's been that low in a while. It's always been like in the 50s, if I remember correctly. It's currently 51, feels like 55. Air quality is excellent. Supposed to be pleasant tomorrow. And then, as you can see, it's only going to get warmer throughout the day. It tops out at about 4 p.m. at 68 degrees. Hold on. Okay, there it goes. Let's just click on daily. Okay, so Saturday, let's see here. I'm just going to look ahead at this upcoming week, because I am off for a little over 75 days, so that's like 10 weeks. A little over 10 weeks. So let's just take a look at this first week. So Saturday to Saturday, let's just say. Yeah, Saturday. That sounds about right. Anyway, let's see here. 76 tomorrow, 74 Monday, 75 Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday, a couple of morning showers, otherwise cloudy most of the time, 71. And then we have some sun and low clouds on Thursday, 72. Low clouds followed by some sun with a couple of showers, mainly later, 66 for Friday. Next Saturday, mostly cloudy, a shower in spots in the morning, followed by a low rain in the afternoon. So it looks like the next Saturday, the end of this week that I talked about, it's going to be wet. So overall, it's actually going to be a pretty cool and pleasant week, with a few wet days sprinkled in. And I'm actually not that shocked, basically because of the fact this spring where I live it's been actually pretty dry. It's been pretty dry. So am I upset that we're going to be having some wet weather? No, not at all. Not at all. And to those who are not in the know, the 21st, so next Saturday, it is actually supposed to be the first day of spring, or first day of summer. Sorry, first day of summer. So we'll see how summer starts after that. Now, when it comes to Ducktales, the video game, here, let's do this. When it comes to Ducktales, the video game, it has I think like 5 levels, and you can actually play any of the levels however you want. Like it's not like a normal game where you start off with one level and you just go through. It's actually kind of like Mega Man it's kind of like Mega Man basically, where you can basically pick what level you want to play basically. So today I am going to be starting with, God, which one did I decide I'm going to start with? Hold on, I am going to be starting with the African mines, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to be starting right in this next video. So I'll see you right in the next video.